All right, thanks for listening again to another episode of Discover Hood River. We are live, and I want to introduce today's guest is Ashlyn Neperud. She is a local licensed real estate agent, as well as the founder and creator of a local entrepreneur meetup group, and as well as a local book club. So, without further ado, I'm going to ask you, please tell us about yourself, and yep, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Call me Ash. I decided when I moved here a couple years ago that I wanted a whole new persona. And so I have a beautiful name. My mom and my dad came up with Ashlyn because they couldn't decide on a name. And they came up with Ashlyn. But I decided when I moved here I wanted a fun new nickname. So I am Ash. So if you hear Ash throughout town, that is me. But yeah, I've been here for 2 years plus. However, I have been coming here as a child my whole entire life. My grandparents grew up here in Parkdale.
In Parkdale?
So I've been coming to Parkdale my entire life. It's where home, like, as homey as you can get was. The smell of cows and pastures and stuff was literally as homey as you can get to me. So when I decided to uproot my life from when I was selling some real estate in San Diego 5 years ago, I decided I was going to uproot my life and find a new home where I wanted to plant my roots. And what is home to me is here. So I'm no longer changing where that is, and I'm planting my roots here in the gorge, and I live in Odell currently. And cows are my neighbor, which is nothing more than I can ever expect, and I'm so excited for it. So,
quick question: are your grandparents from here then, or and what did they do?
My grandpa is from here. He sold cattle here, and then my grandma was a realtor here for more than 25 years.
Really?
So she retired a few years ago. But yeah, I'm a third generation realtor.
Wow.
My mom, my dad's wife, we're all realtors. So
all realtors.
It's in my blood. It was.
And this is a really great area because, especially up in Parkdale, you got that nice view of the mountain.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
And I can't tell you how many guests that come through the hotel and they just like rant and rave about the view up near Parkdale. So.
Oh my gosh. I know. I have a little peekaboo view from my own living room, and that's enough for me, but
you do.
The farther up you get, the better it is. And you can't get wrong. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Right. So tell us about the Entrepreneur Meetup Group, and I know I've been to a few of them, but how did that get started?
I just
book club for that matter.
I know. Well, it started with the book club. The book club I was in a book club in San Diego 5 years ago, which again, I did not grow up in San Diego. I lived in San Diego for 5 years. A job opportunity to live there and run an RV storage business. And while I was there, I decided, well, hey, I'm here. I might as well get my real estate license and kill it over there. So I did. It was fantastic. It was very, very quick. The turnaround was amazing. It was a life-changing experience. And then I moved here, and then I realized, oh my gosh, I don't have a book club here. It's such a small community. Everybody already has all of their own cliques. And it's so hard to fit in with some of these cliques that have been here for ages and ages and ages. Right. I didn't grow up with some of these folks who went to high school in Hood River. So in order to join something, I didn't really feel that loving, warming hug. So I decided, well, shoot, I'll just create my own. I created Read Between the Wines, and it's a wine and book club, and we meet once a month. And I have had the greatest success with it. We've got the most wonderful people in my book club.
How does a book club work? Do you all agree on like what book to read as a group, and then you discuss it, or is like you just come in and just bring your own recommendations every week?
It started where I used to have a voting system where when we were less than 10 people, we would have everybody vote on a book. But recently, I've I have probably 25 people in my book club.
Wow.
But about 12 people-ish come every month, and it just got to be too much to have everybody vote with 25 people.
Right.
So I decided to go ahead and just, choose the book and the place for the next 3 months. So everybody, if they can't make this one, they'll go to the next one, and then the next one, et cetera, et cetera. So I decided to go ahead and just take that on, and it's literally been been wonderful. So very exciting.
What genres of books are you can you kind of gravitate to?
It varies. We've done everything from Brene Brown to oh my goodness, last month the book was about the Japanese heritage in Hood River, which was fantastic. I mean, we've had everything from educated to it's a variety of books. It really is, but really it just brings people out to socialize and drink wine, and like, it's not mandatory to read the book.
Yeah.
And then my entrepreneur group, I created that because accountability is everything when you're an entrepreneur. It's so easy. Self-discipline is really, really, really hard sometimes. And
yeah, totally. And being an entrepreneur, it can be such a solo endeavor that, and I can attest to the fact that I absolutely enjoy just bouncing ideas off of different people at the entrepreneur group. And I think what you're doing is very, like, Hood River definitely needed an entrepreneur group. So thanks for starting that.
I'm so glad you say that.
Yeah. And just for listening, like, that's actually how we met, was at the entrepreneur group. So.
Yes, it is.
And that's how I met Susanna from the other podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're an entrepreneur, definitely come out and join us at the entrepreneur group.
I would love that.
Yeah, you can find it on Meetup.com. Just type in the Hood River zip code, and you'll find us there. So
yeah, I created that. I think it's really important to bring us all together. My ultimate goal is to create like a referral based network group where, we all have that one person we want to refer to for a plumber, that one person we want to refer to for who knows, but we all have that one person. So for us to actually have a relationship with them where we know, trust, like them, and we can refer them to you is such a piece of the value of that. I feel is so important, and so that's why I created it. And then the accountability of it, of I'm bossy and I give you homework because I want you to succeed. So I give each of my entrepreneurs that are in my group a bit of homework, and I say, please come back with this next month. I want to see that you did this because I want you to succeed, and I want you to have the same for me. So I want you to give me homework, I want you to have homework, and I want you to come back, and I want us to all succeed and all be on this referral basis. So
question along those lines, like, did you read that, like, from any book, or did you just kind of come up with that on your own, just making people be accountable within an entrepreneur group?
I was in a couple of really awesome networking groups in San Diego.
Wow.
Connect for Success was really, really awesome. And that was the basis of it, was just like getting to know the personalities of people before you jump into getting to know their business. Like the person before you know the business. And if you like the person, you're going to want to refer their business.
Right.
So it was a total different mindset of what most of us know from a networking perspective, which is why in my entrepreneur group, I have this like questionnaire of like, what was the best thing about your week? Or, what was the high, whatever it is. We want to get to know the core of who you are, because if we don't like who you are, we're not going to refer you anyway. So we want to know who you are as a person, and then know who you are as a business, and then refer you from there. Which is just a little bit different, but I really respected about some of the groups that I was in before.
Okay, and you're trying to bring a lot of those ideas here to Hood River.
Yes, I am.
Nice.
Which I didn't feel like Hood River had. Which, when I moved here, I didn't have any friends, which sounds so sad.
Well, it happens whenever you move. Like,
I moved here not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult to meet friends, especially in Hood River where everybody grew up knowing each other. It's a small town. I mean, it's very, very, very small town. And so if you don't have friends, I decided to go ahead and make groups where I could make my own friends.
Yeah.
And share the same similarities, if you will.
Yeah. Now, have you? I know you read a lot. So question: Do you also listen to audiobooks?
Yes, not as often as I wish. I just started getting into this in the past month or so.
Right. Okay.
My attention span is short, but I do it at like a 1.9 speed because my attention is literally
really. You put that on fast forward?
Yeah, like a 1.9. That's how fast my brain works. I know it is. My boyfriend walked in the other day and he's like, "What in the world are you doing?"
Yeah,
but that's how fast my brain works.
Wow. You could probably multitask. Like you're probably hardwired to like multitask.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, have you read any sort of like entrepreneur books or business books in the past, let's say, year or two, or like
nothing recently? But I just got handed from my broker at Nunamaker's the Ninja Selling book, and then I mean, just from a personal perspective, the Untamed.
I haven't heard of that.
Untamed is one of, it's not business, but it's
like a personal productivity.
That was my first book club book, but I'm listening to it this time, and it's so wonderful.
It's called Untamed?
Yes.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Yes.
I'll definitely have to take a look at that.
But there's so many. Oh my goodness.
Has there been like a book that sort of stood out in the book group?
I mean, so many. I mean, the Hood River one that we just listened to was, amazing. I highly recommend everybody should know the history of their town.
Can you, let's just do just like a what are some of the main points that you kind of like learn from that about Hood River?
The Japanese culture. I just had no idea of just where everything. I mean, it brings up everything.
And don't quote me on this, but like I heard. I think through somewhere, and the listener, you're going to have to forgive me on this, like my ignorance on this subject, but I've heard that there was like sort of like a migration, like if not one or two migrations from Japan to like, I don't know if it was just Oregon or like maybe specifically Hood River, but like it, I don't know. Gosh, I'm so kind of ignorant on that, but like. Was there like there was like a wave of immigration from Japan, wasn't there?
Yes.
Like, was that like, do you, I'm trying to think of what decade that was. That was, 20s or 30s, I think. So if you're the listener,
this was 60s and 70s.
Was it?
This was not that far behind. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The Stubborn Twig. Now I'm so sorry. I had to look it up. The Stubborn Twig, highly recommend.
Never heard of that book. Never heard of it.
Highly recommend it.
Really? Mm-hmm. I think that there was even like 2 or 3 other books written on like the local Japanese culture here in Hood River, if I'm not mistaken. And there was I know there was I was at some like event over in the art gallery, I think a couple of years ago, commemorating the life of a I believe it was a Hood River native. And again, apologies for just because there is so much to history.
Oh my
too.
gosh, the history is insane.
Like and little side note, like I'm one of those people that I absolutely love like going through like old historical photos, and like it's absolutely fascinating when you find out like sort of a lot of the historical like sort of like footnotes that happened in the Hood River area. So me myself, I'm starting to go on this tangent, but like I'm such a like a Napoleonic war nut, right? And so I love talking about like the early 1800s and how that, like even here in Hood River, I was just telling somebody the other day that, like in regards to like the Napoleonic Wars, there was, let's say for example, Napoleon's first victory at the Battle of Toulon in France. He defeated somebody named Admiral Hood. Well, that's the same admiral that like Mount Hood is named after. So. I believe, cool. Like, just a few years later, of course, like, in 1805, Lewis and Clark were kind of up here. And, at that same time, there was, like, all these, like, battles in Europe, like having to do with the Napoleonic Wars. So, like I could keep going on and on about that, but I know we got to like jump into
the history of this area. Though is it's fantastic.
Yeah,
there's so much that has happened here. And again, you brought up Lewis and Clark. I mean, there's Lewis and Clark, and then you just hop, skip, and a jump away. There's the PCT, where hikers can just like go right down Cascade Locks, and that's their first stop between Washington and Oregon.
Yep. You can hike across the Bridge of the Gods and
get
it
a
goes like
beer,
right there.
and then head on down to Oregon and Washington. It's incredible. I mean, this whole area is just we're so blessed to live in where we live in.
We are. Like there's a lot of the other aspect of about being in the gorge is, I think, as opposed to like other places that I've lived in, especially if you live in the city, like you can really get into like these like other things like the geology, even it's just geology and plate tectonics and earthquakes and volcanoes. If you're all about that, this is definitely the place. I know that there was like I've heard about like some mega flood, I think, that happened here. Like I think there's been a couple floods actually in this area, but again, that's like a whole nother rabbit hole.
I know.
To kind of get into. So okay, so let's get into another like other like what are some other like books that have popped up in the book club?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I don't know how much.
Probably more than you can like really care to read.
I mean, everybody should read Educated, and just the amount of books that I've read are just fantastic. Just there's too many to name on here, but join my book club. It's all on Meetup. And we'll just keep going from there.
Again, that's just go to meetup.com and then just type in Hood River zip code, and like you should see her book club pop up, and the entrepreneur group pop up.
Both are on there. I've been meaning to do a Facebook group on both too, but I don't want to get so big that it's overwhelming. I like to have this small niche of people who we all just know and love, and we want to hang out outside of these groups. So
totally,
it's nice
and get out and network, especially.
Exactly.
You know, and even if you grew up here, like it's still great to network with people that are coming in from the outside too.
Absolutely.
You know, and vice versa. It's great for people that are coming out to sort of network. Networking is great no matter which way you cut it. So having like run two groups, and of course you're into real estate. I know that you stay like super busy, and judging from the fact that you listen to audiobooks on like 1.9 times.
I know, my brain's just going.
So is that like so I know that you have to manage time like really well. So do you have any sort of like tips yourself that you, for the rest of us, especially like running like two groups, and like, so what are some of the things that you do to sort of like manage?
Make a list.
do you believe in like to-do lists?
Oh my gosh, an enormous believer in to-do lists. And not only that, like even this morning, so Monday morning, first thing in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, I'm getting my cup of coffee, I'm sitting down, and I wrote at the very, very top of my list, brain purge. Brain purge. Literally everything that's on my mind for this week, this month, today, literally get it out. Get it on a piece of paper, and then I can kind of decipher what is going to be a day, a week, a month. Literally anything on my brain, and then it gets it out of my brain, and then I can have a clear conscience and a focus of what I need to do. So Monday morning, very, 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 very first thing in the morning, 7:30 Monday morning with my cup of coffee, do a brain purge of what I want this week, month, day to look like. So, anything in my brain. Get it out on a piece of paper.
And do you use that list for the rest of the month? Is that
absolutely? I will transfer it.
Really?
But it starts with one list that will start with today, weekly, and I'll transfer it. But it will start with every single Monday. Get my thoughts out. It sounds wicked.
It's called a brain purge.
That's my words. Those are not.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting, because like sometimes like even I like I've done like,
if you have too much in your brain, you're not gonna get anything done. You gotta
exactly.
Just like purge it.
I think the magic number I've heard somewhere is like the human mind cannot process properly anything more than like I think 7 or 8.
Yes.
Like you can only remember
7
something
is
like
the number.
seven
numbers in a zip or in your phone number.
Yeah. So in myself personally, like if I have more than like 7 things like sort of like hanging out there in my brain to do, like I get very, very stressed out.
Yeah.
So what I do, and something like a little tweak on a to-do list that has worked really well for me is like I will sometimes, I know what you're talking about, like you do a brain purge where you put everything just on a list. Don't differentiate between small tasks and big tasks. Just get it out there. Get it out there on like a sheet of paper. And then what I do is I sort it out.
Yeah.
You sort it out and then you can knock things out in a very efficient way. But like another sort of tip that I've heard before, and I think I get this from like I read a sort of this like productivity book years ago. But it was absolutely true where like, let's say for like, you really have to be careful. Something that has helped me is like you have tasks that like take less than 5 minutes. And those like are usually, you should be able to do those immediately. But then I think where people get really stressed out about to-do lists is like they sometimes have a hard time differentiating between big tasks and little tasks. Like, so if you put something like do homework, well, homework takes like 3-4 hours.
Right.
And then that's broken down into like different projects and stuff. But some people write it as just one thing on their to-do list, and then they get like really down that they didn't. But you have to break up things into smaller and smaller pieces.
So have you read the book Eat the Frog?
I have.
Okay.
But that was like, maybe that's where I got that idea, because I think that was like 15 years ago or something like that.
It's been a minute for me too, but Eat the Frog. Get the hardest thing done out of the day from the get-go. And the rest of your day
my small tweak that kind of works for me is like, I know what you're talking about. Like you get the hardest thing out of the day, the first thing, right? Which makes a lot of sense because you have a lot of energy like when you wake up in the morning, right? So you
I
can
drink
get
some really strong coffee.
Are you a dark roast person?
Oh my gosh.
Not a blonde roast.
Oh my gosh, I'm a dark roaster all day. Yeah.
With like two shots of espresso.
Oh my goodness. You don't even want to know. I'm shaking by the time I'm in my second cup. Yeah. I'm wired. I'm ready to go.
So is it just
why it's 1.9.
Okay, so detail here. Like, is it straight black coffee or is like
splash of milk?
Splash of
whole milk.
Any sugar?
No.
No sugar. Okay.
No sugar.
Okay. Is that before or after breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
You don't eat breakfast?
I know, I'm really naughty.
Really?
No breakfast.
You skip breakfast?
I skip breakfast.
Is that like a health thing? Or
it's like 2.5 cups of really strong coffee, and then I drink kombucha.
Really?
And then I carry on with my day.
Really?
Usually a banana if I can have it in the morning.
And you have energy? Like...
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really?
If I have breakfast, honestly, I'm more drained.
Really?
Which is awful. Goes against everything everybody always says.
There's like some weird... Like,
I eat about noon.
Around noon? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Oh, that's fascinating. I always love to kind of delve into like how other people...
Different, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's there are some diets that call for like skipping breakfast because if you want to cut calories...
I'm not trying to cut calories.
You're not trying to cut
I'm not
calories.
worried about my weight or anything.
Yeah.
That's just the way my day goes. I'm in such like go
mood. Yeah.
That I don't want to sit down and have a meal because that will make me slow down. I'm just like,
go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Fascinating. Really fascinating. We need to have Susanna back on. We can all like powwow.
I know, she would tell me. Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Susanna.
Shout out to Susanna telling me you're doing everything wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You never know. Like Susanna has
she broke her toe.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. So we have a hiking date for September 7th, but she broke her toe.
She did. Oh, that sounds very painful.
I know. So
well, like
I'll see her then.
So yeah, back on the productivity. So how I kind of structure things, what works for me personally is like to like knock out like let's say 2 or 3 easy things, and then that like sort of now my mind is like in the mood to keep going. Right. Or like sometimes I think you have to be really flexible about how you knock out your to-do list every day.
Yeah, so, and everybody's totally different.
Yeah. Everybody works different.
You,
everybody works different.
That works. Whatever gets you going to start knocking stuff off.
Yeah.
More power to you.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, especially being a realtor, and just any kind of an entrepreneur, which again, like I preach to all of my entrepreneurs in my group is, you know, like self-discipline is key. So, I mean, it's really tough to have that self-discipline to keep you going. And so if you find something that works for you, by all means, do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be the bossy one in your head, you know, every 2 weeks or so, like, how you doing? Are you gonna, Are you keeping up on your homework and, you know, whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to not. You're in charge of your own schedule. So if you don't want to do it this week or this month or this year, whatever you want to do, like, you don't have to do it. You're just not going to make money. So we got to just keep that energy flowing and, you know, keep going. So if your tactic works, great. And if this person's tactic works, great. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's right for you and it keeps you going.
Okay. So what exactly does fun time, downtime, hobbies look for
I'm an
Ash?
avid fisherman.
Are you?
And we're in salmon season. So we are out there every single day for the past week. At least
there at 4 or
twice
5
a day.
in the morning?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. It's awful. I don't sleep. That 2.5 cups of coffee is very early.
You get that at what, 3:30 in the morning?
Oh my gosh, I know, it's crazy.
So now do you go down on a boat or like
Yes,
like
we have a boat.
I don't know if fishermen's spots are like super secret, but like
it's not that secret. If you're in the gorge, you'll know the spots. But I mean, I'll share. I mean, yeah, I'm an avid salmon fisherman amongst other kind of fish. But yeah, it's salmon season, especially September 1st through, you know, middle of October. I'm out there twice a day, every day. Shout out if you see me, wave. Yeah. I'm out there.
Wow, that must be exciting. So how long have you been a fisher?
Just since I moved to the gorge.
Really? You just got into it when you moved to the gorge?
Yes. I mean, well, I'm dating this wonderful man who taught me exactly how to do it, and I've been the best skipper, and you know, we
do you go out on like a boat, or do you just do it from the shore?
Nope, we're on a boat.
On a boat?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. They're in the Columbia?
Yeah, we're on the Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, right in front of the white salmon and/or the hood and/or Drano, but those are our 3 places that we go.
Is it just salmon, or do you catch anything else? Steelhead, maybe?
I haven't caught a steelhead yet. It's been salmon the past 2 years that I've been out here, but I mean, if I want to go anywhere else, it's trout and sturgeon and all the things.
Okay, I gotta delve more deep into this. Like, so how do you guys cook the salmon?
Oh my gosh,
like smoke?
Well, we have a smoker.
What kind of smoker?
We have a grill, Traeger.
Okay.
1600, I think. Oh.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
What do you use to smoke? Sorry for all this. Like,
no,
I love smoking
sidebar.
food.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So a trick I learned from my grandma, which sounds gross, but it's really not. I highly recommend it. Mayo.
Okay.
Fresh dill.
Thanks for the heads up on that.
I know. Mayo and fresh dill and a little lemon. Swear by it.
And then you smoke it. Like with mayo on it?
I'm not joking. Highly recommend. I do mayo on my salmon every single time I cook it.
I have never heard of that.
I know, because it sounds gross, but I highly recommend it.
That is interesting.
Yeah, my mayo, fresh dill, or we do a lot of blackened. But either way, you put mayo as your base.
Okay.
Sounds gross.
Yeah.
Believe me, I get it.
Yeah.
It looks gross when it's on there.
Like,
but
what type of wood do you use to smoke? Like, what type of wood smoke?
It's usually a hickory or an alder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried mesquite though?
Yeah.
Okay, but hickory, you like hickory the best?
We switch it up.
Okay.
All of it. Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I wear many hats, but yes, avid fisherman. Caught. Oh my gosh, went to Alaska last year and got some salmon there. I think I caught 12 on my own last year.
No, was that on a boat too? I take it.
No, in Alaska we were waiting.
Really?
Yeah, catch.
Where in Alaska was this?
This was in Cordova, which is just like you have to fly into it. You can't drive into it.
No way.
Or ferry into it. It's like this really, really special place. Yeah.
No way.
It was a really, really neat place.
Cordova. Yeah. What is that, like one of the islands then, or?
It's not islands, so to speak. There's just no real road to it.
Yeah. So you flew into this remote place.
Southern Alaska. Yeah.
Basically, I take it to go camping and fishing.
We stayed with my grandparents' family, or grandparents' friends, but we went to go fishing on the Eyak river. Mm-hmm.
Was that nerve-wracking at all? Just pure fun?
Oh, it was awesome.
Really?
It was awesome. Yeah. We drift boated, and then to where we'd go, we'd get out, we'd put waders on, and fish. It was cool.
I imagine. Cool. That sounds like absolutely amazing.
Gosh. Something that
and at nighttime, I imagine you can probably, especially in Alaska, see
we didn't see the Northern Lights.
No?
I wish. Oh my gosh, I wish. But we didn't.
You hear so much about it.
Oh my gosh, I would have killed anything to see it, but we didn't. We didn't. I wish, but no.
But I bet the amount of stars. Amazing. Yeah, I bet the amount of...
We saw moose. We saw a gazillion salmon.
Mm-hmm.
We walked right up on this moose mom, this cow and their baby.
Mm-hmm.
We were probably 100 feet from it. It was just an incredible experience.
Wow.
We're getting off topic.
No, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But
it was really cool.
Yeah.
I have a really fun life. Yeah. That's the moral of the story.
so mostly fishing and any hunting then, or?
Yeah, so we just got a deer tag.
Okay.
I say we. I'm not going to shoot it, but I'm going to be part of the whole tracking, packing. We've got a wildlife camera.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are hunting right now.
Yeah. We got a turkey last year. Again, I say we. I'm not going to shoot it, but I'm part of the whole process.
Yeah.
My boyfriend does the shooting, and I'm part of the whole
process.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Try to take in some other parts of the gorge that not a lot of people fully take part of. I don't kite. I don't mountain bike, but I do have a road bike, which is I use.
At least not yet. Maybe you don't know. Maybe
I would love to mountain bike. Yeah, if anybody wants to take me on a mountain bike experience, I would love that.
Yeah,
I have a beautiful road bike that I love. I love to kayak.
I had another interview. Becca from Brave Endeavors.
I know. I should get a hold of her.
Yeah. She was great, and
I listened to that one.
Yeah, and if you need any tips, definitely whoever's listening, if you need any tips for mountain bike, go to Becca from Brave Endeavors because I see a lot of the posts. She's great. So. But yeah, there's tons of stuff just so many things to get into here in the gorge. There's
oh my gosh.
I still haven't been. I know I live here. And I run a podcast that says Discover Hood River, and I haven't been windsurfing yet. And
That's still need okay.
to go. Yeah, because there's just so much.
I have so many windsurfer instructor friends that just fill me in, and that's enough for me. Yeah.
There's always I
know so many.
I think I missed
this
this past summer, but there's always next summer. But
if you want a lesson, you just let me know. I know all the people.
So let's we covered the hobbies. How about local recipes? Is there any sort of specifically Hood River? What's your favorite thing to make here, besides smoking salmon with mayo?
Well, I have a garden. I have a beautiful big garden. Yeah.
What do you grow?
So, oh my gosh. Well, right now I've got everything between zucchini and corn and bell peppers, and I'm actually trying okra this year and tomatoes. Okay. I'm trying watermelon and cucumbers.
I've tried watermelon myself. It grows really well. It's just I think my watermelons died.
It's starting really late. My watermelon are probably this size of 2 marbles combined.
Really?
So they're very late.
I never even got the fruit to come out.
Oh, it's
on mine,
happy.
So,
it's huge. It's just trying to start. I have pumpkin. I have tomatillos, mint. I've got a large, beautiful garden, so I really, really enjoy that. Salsa verde.
That reminds me of all the things that you can get at the local farmers market.
Perfect.
Which I'm you've been through the farmers.
Just went last Saturday to go hang out with Kim.
Yeah.
Who has Wild Wares, who's part of my entrepreneur group.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff at the local farmers market. I got a
nice bouquet of flowers because I just had surgery that day, and I wanted to treat myself to a bouquet of flowers for myself. So if no one's going to buy it for you, you might as well buy it for yourself. So I got a beautiful bouquet of flowers from there.
Here you go, me.
I know.
Here's me. Oh, thank you, me.
Exactly. So it was lovely. Yeah, it's nice to go down there for sure.
Now, so how much produce do you grow? Like
a lot. I mean,
you do.
Yeah.
Like enough to sort of like. Have you thought about getting into canning at all?
That's
like,
exactly what.
That's
this
what you
like next 3 weeks probably is gonna be. Is like
really.
Yeah. Learning.
Do you already
what
know how to
I
can, or do you need to learn how to can?
Both. I also want to freeze some though. I don't want to just like can everything. I don't.
Right.
I'd like to like freeze some stuff versus just can it. I live in a like 900 square foot cottage, so the square footage of storing my canned goods.
but there's nothing like being self-sufficient though. In those are like the first steps.
I love being so minimalistic and self-sufficient. It just makes my heart so happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody needs any marigold seeds, please give me a call. My God,
what are miracle seeds?
Marigold, the flowers. Oh my gosh. Oh really? My marigolds just like they're the happiest they've ever been. Ever. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. But they're a bug repellent.
Really?
Yeah. So they've been saving my crops. Yeah.
Wow. Bugs. I hope you do you have like a bee nest nearby to help like pollinate a lot of the vegetables or
I purposely planted bee happy flowers this year in order to bring the bees in.
Yeah.
And they've been happy. And hummingbirds. Okay. I have a hummingbird feeder. So everybody's been happy.
Another quick question too that about the garden is do you have any issues with the gray diggers and like pests kind of like eating up all your produce?
I feed a farm cat that has decided it's going to adopt us.
What does a cat look like? If you don't mind me asking.
Why do you ask? Is it your cat?
Well, like
no, it's my neighbor's cat.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's my neighbor's cat. Oh. But I just feed it while it's at our house.
So the cat has two homes.
It has two homes.
Because I know on D Highway cats have a where my father lives upon D Highway, cats have a way of just.
I know who the home of this cat is.
They'll like they'll like just find all these like new homes and as far as like me and my father go, like we're all the more happy to feed stray cats that just so happen to stumble upon us because then the cats like take care of all the pests and everything.
That's
like,
exactly
cats
what it's saving my butt.
Yes.
It really is. I bought a $5 bag of cat food and she is saving my butt. Like she hunkers down in my garden and just like watches for voles. And I'm more than happy to pay the $5 to feed the cat. Like no problem whatsoever. So I haven't had any problems because I'm feeding the neighbor's cat.
Yeah. I had a cat about 2-3 years ago. When it did go missing, unfortunately, but like
I'm sorry.
I remember cat like that just like that cat just saved all of our like whatever we were growing.
Exactly,
it would just kill moles and rats and mice and gray diggers and I remember one time I know this is really off topic, but it did try and bring me a present of a half-eaten mole.
Oh my gosh, that's when they know you're your person.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like,
you're my person.
Okay, thank you for dropping this like half mole on my kitchen floor. But like, and like, what can you do? You can't like, it's trying to bring you like some like what it thinks is a present for you.
I know it's funny.
And it's just you're just like, okay, I petted its head and just like thank you and okay, just but you can't just tell it like can you not do that? Can you just eat it outside? So well let's let me go over.
Let's talk a little bit more real estate, if that's okay.
Oh yeah. So
I did some stats today just to fill everybody in. So today is August 29th of 2022. So I usually run a market statistic every single Monday. So today's Monday. So under $1 million as of today, again, the 29th, there are 30 homes available in Hood River County under $1 million. The median price is $675,000. $675,000. Let's not say $675,000. And the average is $661,000. So, yeah, it's interesting to know.
So, definitely not pocket change, at least for me.
Not pocket change. I know. And then I saw another interesting statistic. So I don't love Zillow, right? So Zillow's Zestimates and stuff can be $100,000 above or $100,000 below. They are not accurate whatsoever. And
so
for
don't
anybody
use Zillow.
who thinks
don't use
Zillow's
Zillow
Zestimates, like, oh my gosh, please
don't use it.
Please don't use Zillow's
okay.
Zestimates. But their info is very interesting. So it is claiming that Hood River's appreciation the past year was 13.1%.
Really?
So those are stats because those are sold homes. So 13.1% appreciation the past year for Hood River County. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing. That is 3 times the national average.
Is it?
Yeah, because we're in a resort town where everybody wants to come here. I mean, we're 30 minutes from the mountain. We're right next to the river. I mean, we're 45 minutes to Portland. I mean, we're in an ideal location. So, yeah, those are some really good stats. Whether you're a buyer or seller, I mean, it'll vary of how you take that into, you know, your thoughts, but those are really good numbers.
Yeah, like a guaranteed, like, what, 13% return on your investment.
And that was during where people were feeling that, you know, the market was a little uneasy. Okay, it was not.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, definitely. Like this, Hood River, I have to say, is one of the most unique towns. Like, and I've lived in quite a few places. Like, it's, I like to tell people it's, for a small town, there's just an astronomical amount of things to do.
Yeah. And I don't see this changing anytime soon.
Right.
I see some of these neighborhood towns, you know, Mosier is having, I mean, my boyfriend's building a home on the bluff. And they took out
there in Mosier?
Yeah, and they took out a $1.2 million loan just to build on the bluff.
Really?
So they're finding ways to just expand and still live in the gorge. I mean, the Mosier is not in Hood River County, but it's still in the gorge area, where they're just getting creative. I mean, we're expanding. I mean, Bingen's getting bigger, and Stevenson's getting bigger, and Cascade Locks, like, we're expanding, because Hood River itself can only be broadened so much. Like, they're, you know, they're expanding, and so it's very fascinating to see how this is going.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. And now you cover both sides of the river.
I
correct?
do. I'm duly licensed. Yes.
Okay. So if somebody was looking in Bingen, white salmon,
100%.
you can do it. Mosier,
Absolutely.
you can do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, and the Washington side is very, very interesting. I mean, it's different, but it's also the same. I mean, it's they call it the sunnier side. Actually, the Washington side. You have the views of looking at Hood River, a little bit less of price, and you're still hop, skip, and a jump from Hood River and all Hood River County has to offer. Yeah,
definitely. This, and as far as I know, I think on top of, like, the price appreciation, like, Hood River's still growing, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, and I think, as far as I know, I don't think it shows any sign of slowing down, because, like, I can definitely tell you, like, because currently I work at the local Hampton Inn, and, like, the amount of, like, traffic that we're getting, like, year over year, it's just it's just like incredible, like, especially for the town that we live in, and to think that, like, you could, you know, like, you know, well, just like what Ash was saying, I mean, like, you can live here and, like, guaranteed price appreciation,
right? Like,
lots of foot traffic, and there's more businesses that are gonna, like, you know, plan to pop up. You know, Hood River is just, like, there's no way around it. It is a very happening town.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely. And again, everything's surrounded by it.
You have, and I mean, getting back, I mean, another, like, kind of advantage that we have here in Hood River that I like is the fact that, so, for example, when, like, let's say if we go through, like, hopefully not, but let's say another, like, pandemic or whatever, like, you know, people were just so frustrated because they can't travel. Well, like, one of the things that I love here in Hood River is, like, let's say hopefully not, but like, you know, we go through another thing like that. It's like you will not be bored because you have so many outdoor things to do that don't involve like hunting, fishing, hiking, you know, even like windsurfing, all of these like solo activities. Hood River is built for like solo activities. Right. It's a very I mean, and this kind of gets into another side thing, but like in my opinion, like Hood River is somebody described it as a very fit town.
It
is a very fit town.
Is.
So we I mean, we have like, I don't know how many yoga studios, a couple gyms,
fantastic.
all for the size. The size of Hood River is like it's such a unique town that like there's so much to do, and just like 2 movie theaters.
You can work out on the top of a brewery. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah,
how cool is
that's
that?
are you mainly talking about like what goes on at like Ferment or like
so
they have like what
so cool
yoga or something like there like,
Kenzie works out on there, and then across the river there's, you know, Nika Studio, like there's you could just do so much cool stuff. And the Maria that I work, you know, that's in our entrepreneur group too, like she wants to get out, do Nia with you know, some people out on the waterfront. So I mean, people are taking advantage of the gorge and understanding that, you know, we want to be outside, we want to be a part of what we're living in and still work out. It's fantastic.
Not to mention all the coffee shops that we have here.
Coffee shops, breweries, good food carts. Oh my gosh, we're so blessed. We're just so blessed.
Yep. A lot of great places to eat. So now are there so that is a very interesting stat. Like is that like the medium home price then? Like 6 something for like that's
median.
All?
Meaning
really?
like $0 to $1 million. So the median, which depending on where you're thinking, $675.
Wow. Now, how does that? Do you know, like, just off the top of your head, how that kind of compares to major cities? Is that like comparable? Is that more expensive or?
Well, I did real estate in San Diego before we moved. Before I moved here, I did that for 3 years before I moved here, and I know for sure the median prices were $725 where I was. But that's a major city though too. I know. But then my mother and my father are realtors in Albany, Oregon, where I grew up, and their home prices are more in the $320 range. So it just depends on where you want to be. Yeah. But we're here in a resort town where you're next to everything. So it just depends what you want to be next to. Yeah. Like you're here in the mix of everything. Yeah. So I mean, what is your price of life? I suppose.
Well, it's like the old saying, like what's that commercial? It says like, you can't put a price tag on. Oh gosh, what was that? Like my brain's just completely just like. I love quoting funny commercials. Yeah,
anything related to that. Yeah, like what is your price tag of like life? Yeah, because I've been a realtor for 5-6 years now, and there's some people who want to be in the boonies away from everybody, but there's some people who I had some buyers, a few months back, and they're like, I have to be in the middle of everything because that's why I want to move to Hood River from Illinois. Like, I saw Hood River. I want to be in Hood River. I don't care what it takes. Right. And I have to be in here. So we made it work, like that lifestyle of just being in the mix of all the excitement and everything it has to offer. Like, it means so much more than, anything else.
Yeah. So let's go. Real quickly, like, any favorite restaurants? What are some of your more favorite restaurants?
Let's see. I don't go out a lot because I'm such a good cook.
and you grow your own and hunt and fish.
I know. So I don't go out a ton. Oh goodness, Kobe Sushi. We go out for sushi every so often. Their lunch specials are awesome. Yep. Sixth Street Bistro has really good soups. I mean, just Modern Taco. Shout out to Jonathan. Man, Hood River just is. We got just food galore.
Yeah.
It just depends what you're in the mood for. It really does. But again, I make so much darn good food, it's hard for me to go out. But I do want to do a big shout out, if that's okay.
Yeah.
The first Wednesday of every month, I have been, self-proclaimed, but also proclaimed, the Gorge Speakeasy. I don't want to make it so big because I don't really want a bunch of people to go, but this is like my favorite day of the entire month.
Now, so that is...
This is at the Ruins. Angie puts it on.
I hear, I've heard from several people how awesome it is.
Okay.
I have not...
I want to keep it quiet, but I also want to tell the world.
Right.
Like, I want the right people to come. It's a quiet space. Yeah. So we're in the inside of the Ruins.
Okay.
So it's still like 100 people less kind of a thing. But I am like an enormous fan. I have gone every single month. Again, it's the first Wednesday of every month. But what I love is Angie, it's a nonprofit. And they give back to a special organization. Like, it's a free event, but they ask for a donation every month to give to a profit of their choosing. And so they're giving back to the local community. And I just love that so much. So, anywho's, on September 7th, the Gorge Speakeasy is supporting the Cairn Project and their mission to expand outdoor access for youth, girls, and women by supporting community-based wilderness and outdoor education groups. The Cairn Project fosters a community that is inspired to catalyze outdoor passion into a force for good, share learning and stories, and raise the profile of women and girls in outdoor adventure. Does that not sound like something that you want to get involved in?
Totally. And I've heard from several people about how awesome the Speakeasy is, and
I'm obsessed. I really am. I have nothing to say but fantastic things.
I'm gonna need to pull her. Like who's it?
Please,
runs
Angie.
It?
Oh my
Angie,
gosh.
That runs the Speakeasy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. We should have her on. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
She's fantastic.
And Angie, if you're listening, you know that the
there
message
you go.
is coming.
She already knew it was happening. Shout out, girl.
Yeah, you know what's coming.
I know.
I'm excited to kind of like learn more about that. Like, because since I work nights, I find it kind of it's sometimes hard to go to like a lot of these things. I currently work nights, and but hopefully that'll at some point change where I can attend the Speakeasy because I really want to.
I mean, Hood River just has so many really, really cool things that are just intertwined with it that I mean, there's a reason it's called a Speakeasy. They don't want everybody to know. They want like it to be kind of
really low key and
have the locals and it's cool though. It's storytelling. It's neat. But that's kind of what Hood River is, though. It's just
the listener who is thinking about coming and visiting Hood River, so now you know where to go with the locals, like the local knowledge here.
Don't say Ash sent you, but also do.
Low key,
yes. I know.
Low key, say it.
Low key, say it.
No, that's awesome. I'm gonna definitely have to contact the Speakeasy because I think I've seen like some video clips of people getting up on stage and
like might have been for me too. I've
and do you like what is it? Do you tell stories or like do you just
so you have a 9-minute clip where you get to go up and they usually have a theme for the month and you go up and you share a 9-minute clip or 9-minute storytelling about something related to that theme, but it doesn't have to be related to that theme. Okay. But there's been everything from broken bones to trips up the mountain to a silly story to who cares? It doesn't matter. It's somebody getting up there and sharing something. And then what's the most fun is in between every 9-minute storytelling event, they have these things that they leave on every table called scoops. And everybody can give an anonymous 30-second scoop where they write down some kind of a secret, whatever you want to share with the world, a quote, a story, a secret, whatever you want it to be. And then Angie reads it aloud in between each storyteller. So it kind of keeps a nice flow. Mm-hmm. And then I was actually chatting with my mom today. So Angie, I'm going to be chatting with you tomorrow. I'm thinking about getting a popcorn machine and sponsoring it and giving it to the speakeasy. So we have some popcorn to share with your stories.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of fun.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So anyways, anything else you want to ask me, William?
Well, I think I've... just so people... I do have a list of... a list of... What's... Okay, so quick... You said that no, this has to do with food.
Okay.
Like so it's like, so you said you love to cook.
Yes.
What's your favorite thing to cook? What's your favorite? What dish would you say you're most proud of?
I grew up just feeding a gazelle. It was
Besides
only me and my
mayo
brother.
On the salmon.
Oh my gosh, I know it sounds so silly, but I promise, try it. But I grew up just like cooking for a gazillion. I don't know why. I don't know. It was a single mom and then me and my brother. So it wasn't like we had a bunch of people to cook for. But my mom always cooked in these big portions. Yeah. So now it's instilled in my mind. We cook for big. I cook for a lot of people. So I end up feeding my neighbors. Like I have 4 people in my neighborhood. Okay. Not a big amount of people, but I end up giving them a bunch of.
So basically, if somebody is thinking about buying they should
move by me.
Yeah, and you're basically set. You're set for life, and move in with kids because Ash will feed you and your kids.
Oh my gosh! I make a really good clam chowder because I go to the coast a lot, and I love to go clam dig.
Really?
So I make a really, really good clam chowder.
Wow.
And then I make a really good lasagna. I make a really good spaghetti.
Another really quick shout out to Fish People for your crab rolls. You know.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know if you've had their crab rolls.
No.
But I'm just going to recommend that you try
their
crab rolls.
Let's try them. But yeah, I love to cook. Really good chili. Yeah, just stuff that hearty.
I'm starting to get the idea like if I had like 2 or 3 kids, I would buy like the house next to you because then you would take my kids on hunting and fishing trips and feed us, right? And then if you grow any excess vegetables, we would get the excess.
You would 100% get the excess
with the cat that comes along with it.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah.
Yeah. Come move next
Starting to sound like the perfect neighbor there, Ash.
Perfect. I know. I have 2 nephews, and anytime
do
they come over...
I get the use of any boats? No,
I'm
kidding.
I'm kidding. Absolutely come on my boat. Yeah, that's totally fine.
No, that's awesome. I'll definitely have to think about that if I win a lotto at this point. Cause, anyone else that you want to give a quick shout out to, or?
I have so many people I want to give a shout out to just because I love this community.
Yeah, real quick, I forgot to ask you.
Yes.
And you're with currently you're with Nunamaker.
Yes.
Okay, so people can contact you.
Yes.
How can people get a hold of you?
So people can get a hold of me. I'm gonna make William put my contact info in the bottom of the Spotify.
Okay.
But you can definitely get a hold of me on Instagram, Facebook, email, phone.
And what is your Instagram and email?
We'll give my business Instagram. I definitely have a personal page too, which you're more than welcome to follow. But Making the Gorge Home is my business. And then my Facebook is Ashlyn Neperud Realtor. And then I'm in the process of creating a website right now. It'll be ready in a week max.
With all the contact info and everything?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just going to be ash.neperud.com.
Okay.
Very, very easy. Like I said, when I moved to the Gorge, I decided I'm going to just shorten my name, make it really easy. I worked construction for a while, and so it was just easier to be one of the bros.
Yeah.
And just be
That's
Ash.
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I used to, I was in the medical field for a long time, and then when I moved here, I decided I wanted to learn something new, so I joined the construction side of things.
Yeah.
Learn how to build a home. That way I can sell it a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
very fascinating.
Wow. So there's like a lot of integration there with like past skills. There's a lot of integration.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm actually helping my boyfriend tile set right now too. So learning about just all kinds of different things.
So what's kind of unique, I'm just brainstorming right now. It's like if let's say if somebody's looking for a home, you could have some very useful tips about like, you know, where gardens go, what to do, how to fix like just
that's what I want to be. I want to be like a go-to.
Like it's like a wellspring of ideas.
That's exactly right.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I want to be a go-to for so many different things. Mm-hmm. And then also like
where the cat goes, right?
And then also when you sign the contract, when you need your plumber, your electrician, your mover,
you would know all the contacts.
I have all of them.
That is awesome.
That's my goal.
Awesome.
Just make life a little bit easier for you.
Okay.
But yes, you can always email me to ashlyn.nunamaker.com and then 541-971-5237. Always available. Okay. No hesitation.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, unless there's anything else,
thank you so
without
much,
further
William,
ado,
for having me on.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
on.
It's been fun.
A lot less scary than I was anticipating.
And as everyone can hear, Ash has a lot of interesting hobbies and things.
I wear many hats.
Like ideas for your brand new home, and
the realtor.
Like local recipes, local events. You can definitely ask Ash. Unless there's anything else, I think we're going to wrap this up. And then thanks for listening. And
thank you so much.
I'll be back with another episode soon. So thank you for listening.